And we're recording. So here we go. This is Zoom number 5, and I looked on the calendar, and we're officially at day 21. And you know what day 21 really means to me is that I got on the computer earlier, and I looked up once again just to see what Google said about how long it takes to create a habit. And almost everybody says that it takes 21 days to create a habit. Well, I dug a little bit deeper because I know that I have done things that for 21 days, and I went back to my old habits before. So, you know, that's a paradigm mystery to me, that what is it that I do, that I've done some behaviors that lasted and lasted and lasted, but then in the long run, I've gone back to my old recorded behavior that's recorded into my DNA. And what is with that? You know what? Is it really 21 days you break a habit and then for the rest of your life you're free? I mean, it sounds almost too good to be true, especially for those of us that want instant gratification in life. And I was talking with someone the other day, and they said, you know what? I just want it to happen now. I just want life. I just want it to be done and get it over with. I just want instant success. I just want to recognize that I've got this problem or this mindset inside of me, recognize it, and get up the next morning and it's gone, and I have a new mindset now forever and ever. Amen. Yeah, me too. Really, I really do. But wow, I'm finding that that's harder than we, sometimes I think we would like to make it out to be when we say, oh, just 21 days and you'll have a brand new habit. I when I was reading a little bit on it, habits and behaviors, one of the best articles I read today was that it really depends on 3 things. And I can honestly say, in the last 21 days, when we first started this journey and we folded our little paper over, like this, and started our new little journal that says paradigm shift, let the journey begin. That's where we kind of started this back then. And we started with the I ams and have our pages of I ams and have our pages of our thank yous. I honestly, I haven't been able to keep up. There's my thank yous. I've not been able to keep up with my written thank yous. So that's a habit that did not get ingrained into me. However, I am a super lifelong thankful person. I think that's kind of a lifelong habit to me, is that I'm just a super grateful, and I have a behavior of gratefulness. So that to me wasn't a big thing to have to go in and change. It's a good discipline. So for some people that just don't have the discipline of just being so thankful every day and have a morning mindset, I think it's important to continue to do that. But I know that is one of my strengths. I've got a lot of weaknesses, but that is a strength of mine. So I actually did not keep up for these last 21 days. I got 11 days down. That's how many days I have that I actually recorded. So, I'm confessing my own. That's a shortfall to the behaviors that I even wanted to be accountable for this book or for this journey that we were headed into. The however is what has been absolutely mind-blowingly life-changing for me has been the I ams and the declarations. Without a doubt, it has been set me on a forever life-changing journey. And most of it, I would say, because I recorded it onto my phone. And when I started listening, Kelly mentioned that she had done the I ams but hadn't recorded them. And you mentioned, Kelly, that you thought like that was really a powerful element that was added into this whole walk that really was changing for you. And I know for me that I found myself for the first few times. Now, I do a lot in my lifetime. I've done a lot of public speaking, being in the ministry and stuff, a lot of speaking, preaching, teaching and stuff. So I do a lot of talking. And so I've heard myself on recordings, and I actually did radio announcing for a few years. So I heard my voice, but I've never been a fan of my voice. Like you said, Kelly, I just don't like my voice. I I personally have never really liked to listen to my own voice talk when I hear it on radio, but this has changed. Something's changed in me as I have listened to my voice say these things to myself every single night. And that has been a hardcore, disciplined, deliberate act that every single night I have laid in bed with my earphones in, playing my declarations and I ams into my ears. And I play and start that recording over 3 times. And so I'm getting each line 9 times into my head as I do the full recording 3 times in a row. So that to me, and then usually on the 3rd one, I've fallen asleep and woken up with my earphones in, which I've liked that because then it's gone straight into my spirit, straight down into that subconscious place where my mind isn't. But I found the difference whether I let my mind wander listening to myself or if I just really focus in on those words. And what I have found is that has been an element of change because I can take any one of those and say, I am, let me go one. I could say one. What do I want to say that I don't sound whatever? I am valuable. I really am valuable. I'm valuable to me. I'm valuable to my kids. I'm valuable to my husband. I am so happy and so grateful that I am valuable. And it's like this place that comes out. It's gone down to a place that I actually feel the emotion of what I'm saying. And I like hearing my voice say it to me. I'm finding this deep, deep comfort. And that's a real big change for me. So if I was to share one big change that I've experienced from just like, I guess that my voice is, I don't like it, to where I look forward to hearing myself speak to my own spirit at night when I go to bed now. And I find myself very comforted, very affirmed, and I believe, I very believable. So, this is a journey that I have no intention of stopping myself. Matter of fact, I'm actually very ready to re-record my whole session because I have half my session recorded in how I'd first instructed, going, I am da-da-da, and then I am da-da-da-da-da, and then I am da-da-da-da-da. That's how we talked about when I first did the first Zoom. And I think by the second Zoom, I had added the element where it kind of landed back on me where Bob Proctor said, I am so happy and so thankful that I am valuable. I am so happy and so grateful that I am valuable. I have now added that into all of them. And that has added a new dimension of passion into how I'm hearing it being said. And so I'm re-recording the whole thing into saying that 3 times. I am so happy and so grateful that I am valuable. So I think that's just something that to think about, to add in. So 21 days today, we have been in this, for those of you that started with me day 1. And I just really would love to hear, I would really love to hear some of your feedback again, and I know we had some stories we shared last week, but I would say there's been a couple times that I have actually had this wave. I don't know if it's actually come over me or come out of me, that is just like that same thought that rose up that says, this is going to be hard. Especially those of us that are doing the burst right now. And I think all of us that I'm talking to are doing the burst that we're in. And just kind of like, this is going to take a lot of energy. And I had a few of those thoughts kind of roll through me over the last 2 days. And today, interesting, and I had 2 cancellations of one person that I was going to meet with this morning at 10 that was going to sign up, and she is, but she is working through this same thing that we're working through right now, and fear blindsided her and took her out. You know, fear of, you know, not ever being in this industry before, fear of you know, of finances, all the fears that we all face often was hit. And I just so validated that, because that is just so real. And that is something that we're going to be coming up against with others and in ourselves all the time. And so I've just said it. I believe in you completely. You are totally suited for this. Let's just work on that battle. Because, you know, at one moment we're fine, and the next minute we find ourselves taken out in battle. And then I have another, I told you about the gym that's signing up, and they are starting and opening a new gym, so they're busy. So now we've delayed. We were going to sign up on Monday, and then we're signing up on Tuesday. And then next thing you know, we're meeting on Thursday. And they're all excited, they can't wait. But they keep getting delayed. So all these other little voices that just let in enough leak that these voices are coming in going, what if their excitement is going to be all waned? So I'm here. I'm now in this little battle. And guess what it did to me today? By just entertaining those for not even very long, I found today my energy level went down from a 10 of rah to probably a 4. I mean, maybe a 3. I mean, my energy level is like, I need to go to bed. That's what my energy level did today. And I'm like, you know, this, and matter of fact, at 5 o'clock, I came home because I had to work real estate all day long. So, and yeah, maybe I'm tired because I'm working so hard. Maybe that's part of it too. But I came home and I'm laying on the couch saying, honey, I've got to do a Zoom at 6 o'clock, and it's 5 o'clock. 5:10. I'm laying on the couch on my back, just kind of going, oh my God. And I said, I got to be a Zoom in 1 hour, and I got to be like, I've been on 5, had 5 cups of coffee, and I feel like I want to go to bed right now. So there you go. That's the real me. I do get exhausted, tired too. I'm not always the ever ready bunny. None of us are, you know, and you know what it was? It was those little hits that got me, and those thoughts that just tried to creep in enough that it leaked some of my energy out. And so I'm like, you know, what does it take to plug those places back up again? Those little spurts, you know, the dam is starting to leak. What it does show me is that those little spurts start coming out. And when we start entertaining them, that's how the crack in the dam happens, and back we can go into those old behaviors. If you really think about it, that's really how they begin, is just trying to work their way back into that pathway into your brain and into your thoughts. And then you kind of go over there and focus on them. Next thing you know, they've opened back up again. So my mindset tonight is to say, okay, endurance, that big word, that word came to me really strong. Just as matter of fact, I sat on the computer, looked up the word endurance. I looked up scriptures in the Bible on endurance, and I just started thinking, this is a time, day 21, this is a time to make that decision to carry on. And going back to that basic place again on day 21, where statistically they say this is how long it takes to create a habit. Well, supposedly we're here, but I know at least in the dam of my life, there's a few leaks in the dam that isn't quite completely sealed up. So I know personally that I have need of endurance, the endurance of carrying on, instilling those beliefs into those self-sabotaging behaviors that want to creep up through circumstance, through exhaustion, through the triggers that cause us to go back to the old patterns and old ways. And I saw some of those triggers. Those triggers are, just slight disappointments, fear, physical exhaustion, or physical tiredness. Those are all the things that start wearing us down. And I saw a quote from Rita Davenport, and Kelly, you were there when Rita was speaking at that women's event that a few of us went to. And today was a really good day for me to find that journal that I had taken her notes in and read through her notes. I felt like I could hear her voice and see what she was saying. And so I'm just going to throw a couple of those little notes out, because what I want this Zoom to be is, for one, I just want to be transparent of, just how the last couple days was. For two, I don't think it's a mistake that we're doing this on day 21. I didn't plan it that way. Just so happens to, when I open my journal and my book today, just so happens today was day 21. And that to me was quite remarkable. So I don't think that's a mistake either. And that my life isn't completely and totally changed, and every paradigm that I went after is not completely changed. However, I have never been in a better place in my life when it comes to paradigms. There is something so magnificent that has taken place inside of me that it boggles my mind. I yet don't know how big it is. All I know is I want to hold on to it and nurture it, and don't let what I've started fade or fall away or diminish at all. I want to hold on to that which I've spent the last 21 days diligently moving towards, and I want to continue to feed it. It's still a child. Think of it that way. It's still a child. That's this new behavior, these new mindsets, these new thoughts about who you are is still a child. So the law of repetition, I think, is going to be very critical going forward in the motion during this whole burst. We need to continue to do it day in and day out, and continue to nurture that new behavior, a new child, that new belief in us. Let me use the word, let's protect it. Let's protect it by feeding it every single day. So Rita Davenport said a couple things, and she said, I gotta find where I put my little star next to it. It was just so good. I know you guys don't mind my pauses. Yeah. She asked the question, when did you decide that enough is enough? What is enough? That's enough. I have enough. She asked the question, when did you ever decide enough is enough? And I just thought, that's a good question. I'm like, I don't ever want to be enough. I want to be in a constant state of growth and a constant state of learning. And she really talked about that one of her great little quotes was that you are just absolutely never to stop growing. Be committed to your own excellence. Absolutely be committed to your own excellence, because nobody else is going to build that for you. And that's a good point. Nobody else is going to build in you who you actually are and who you are created to be but you. It's not a job that you can hand to anyone. And for those of us that are believers, God can't even build that in us until we say yes to Him and yes to who He says we are. And then once we say yes, we still have to believe it. So even then, it's up to us, because we have to do the act of believing it and then acting it out. So to have that thought of, nobody can create the beautiful you, the successful you, the future you, but you. And, people that say, well, I'm just going to let God just make me great. Well, good luck with that, because He needs your help. He needs your yes. He needs you to say, who am I? And then you hear who you are. And you know what? Other people sometimes can tell you who you are. Dot, you're amazing. You're smart. You're a go-getter. I mean, you're an influencer. People love you, and they want to listen to you. They want to hear what you have to say. I can tell you that all day long, and it's true, right, everybody? It's absolutely the truth. But until you believe it, I can't build that into you. I can only tell you, and it can land right here. But until you say yes to it and start telling that person down there that says, oh, no, that's not me. That's just Don't even get me started. That's just Jesus. I love Jesus, mind you, but it's you. He made you that way. He did. Jesus made you, and God made you that way. I give all the glory to God. I love him with all my heart, but he wants me to come into agreement with who he says I am. And if it's okay for me to say I'm influential, I'm a leader, I'm valuable. That's the work that we have to do. That's my point. And we're not done yet. We're just now getting it. How many of you have said, for those of you that are like my age, in their 50s, maybe you're younger than I am listening to my voice, but what am I going to be when I grow up? Oh my God. I've been saying that well into my 50s. What am I going to be when I grow up? You know, for the first time in the last 21 days, I was talking with somebody who was in his early 50s and having a conversation with him today. And he's like, I really want to hear about your business and hear more about it. He's like, I just quit my job of 30 years. He said, and I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I'm like, everybody's saying that right now, you know? And I thought to myself, I think for the first time in my life, with what I have and with what we're standing on here, I'm actually declaring and saying out loud, this is my last stop. LifeVantage, this product, what we are standing on, it's my last stop. And I want to believe that with all my heart, that this is something that's going to last us the rest of our lives with this breakthrough, with what we're standing on. And I'm feeling like for the first time, I think I know what I want to be when I grow up. I don't have a definition on it, but there's something inside of me that's feeling really solid about who I am. That's a change in the last 21 days. That is actually honestly something I feel different about myself, that I think I'm liking who I am, and I want to be me when I grow up. I don't want to be anybody else now, or more like that person or that person. That's actually different for me. Maybe it's not for you, but just being honest with you. So those are kind of some of my rambling thoughts today about this 21-day cycle. Be committed to your own excellence. That's just the point I want to make. Be committed to your own excellence, because nobody else can build that in you but you. Nobody. And this is a way that we do get committed. With what we have, with the team we're in, they are committed to excellence, and we are riding the journey along with this team. For those of us that are in Team Heart and know what I'm talking about, there's a lot of excellence. And you put all that excellence in, that coming out of different people's and every person's piece of ingredient, and we get to build that and what we can take of that into our own lives. That's how we're building excellence into our own selves and into our own life. So that is just, I think, something very vital. So I want to open it up, you guys, and just share. Is there anything that you've really felt like you've come across that just take a transparent moment, and how really has this last 21 days been for you? You know, have you experienced that bam, and you're just, you know, how did you deal with it? How did you push it out of the way? Share with us. Anybody want to say something here and just share anything? We have a nice small group, so let's go ahead and chat a minute.
Hey, Becky, this is Annie in Seattle.
Hi.
Becky and everyone. I would like to just absolutely grab your talk from tonight and stamp it with my name, because it is exactly what I've been experiencing. And I don't know how it comes to be so synonymous with what you were talking about. It was just sitting here going, oh my God, oh, that's it. Oh, she said it again. Oh, no, that's it. Oh, I had that experience. And it's just been literally exactly what you've been talking about. So that's pretty exciting to me. I will share that right before, maybe a day or two, before this group got started, I lost my job. And so I thought, I need this group. And what I've discovered in the past few weeks is that rather than sink into an abyss, which is very easy to do when you're the only one supporting yourself, I have used this group and every single tool I've come across to simply dig deep and find it within myself to be everything that I claim, that I attract, and that I am. And I do it religiously. And it's what has saved me. And I've noticed a lot of good things coming to me. Not yet the job, but that's okay. all the other things that we've talked about, and money continues to, I attract money in all kinds of forms on a continuous basis and increasing amounts of money. And that has come to me literally right after I say it. And so I want to finish up by telling you the last thing, because I don't want to hog this, that I have a penchant for writing, and I don't know how that came to be. It's just one of those innate skills that I have. So I've always written things for people. I've written their resumes. I've written their cover letters. I've written whatever. And my sister has always said to me, you really ought to do this. You just really ought to do this. So we had this conversation last night, and today I pushed aside some things I was going to do, and I put an ad on Craigslist, like in 3 different major markets. And within an hour, I had someone respond to me, pay me, and ask me to do a project that I'm in the middle of. And I was just absolutely blown away, because I was sitting here with a bill in front of me going, I really don't want to take that out of savings. I really want new incoming money to pay for that. It's not much, and so I can make it happen. And so there we have it.
And
so like you said, it doesn't take care of everything and cure everything, and all the paradigms aren't necessarily shifted around, but it sure gets my head going in the right direction. So when I want to fall off the pony and whine and moan and complain, I get right back up and I pick up my I ams. I listen to them at night. I listen to them in the morning. And it's like the only thing that I'm going to allow myself to think. And when I stray and find myself thinking of something and get kind of derailed and go, oh my God, I can't believe I'm thinking that. Boom, I go right back to my paradigm shift, and I just engage in that until that I feel calm again, until I feel energized again. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it, and thank you all so very much for your input, your support, your excitement, your enthusiasm, and all of it.
Oh, what a great story. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate that. And you know what? This is what it's all about. You know, I've been a lover of keys. I'm obsessed with keys. Hold on. Now you got me going. These aren't even a glimpse of the kind of keys I have. And I'm going to say this because you said this, Allison. I've got a ring of keys. I've got several rings of keys, and they're pretty good size. I mean, these are just fun keys. I mean, I've got keys. I mean, and then a gal at church brought this key, and she's like, you just had this key absolutely has your name all over it. And I've been given 2 of these keys, just like exactly like that. And I have many, 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 many more. I've got it's going to be my next tattoo. What we have here are keys that are unlocking our futures. I just had that revelation as Annie was talking. I'm just like, oh my God, no wonder I love keys. People always say, what are the symbol of keys? Well, keys unlock doors. They open doors. They shut doors and keep them shut and locked. And then you can throw the key away. I've probably given away more keys in my life than anything. I have them in my purse with little words on them, and I give them away as my spirit is prompted to. I'll give people keys. There's a lot of people in my life that have been given keys from me because they mean so much. And there's something you can hold on to, put in your purse, have them forever. All I want to say, I just want to say that I think what we've been given here are keys. The choice that we're doing is we're using them. We're actually using these keys to unlock locked up places in our life and to throw things out, put them in that place and lock them up, and so they never are going to come back. So all these things, and like you said, Allison, I mean, I could just hear it. You're doing it, or I'm sorry, Annie, in the morning, you're doing it at night. These keys are changing your life. So, you know, boy, keep it up, man. We're unlocking all kinds of potential, unlocking power, unlocking finances, unlocking life, and unlocking confidence. All the things that are getting unlocked inside of us can now be used so that we can be fully alive. So anybody else? That was awesome. This is kind of what I want to hear tonight and share. So anybody else? Share what's on your heart. Go ahead, Stacey. Hi.
Oh, I have 2 things. One is kind of funny. My husband, my IAMs are growing and they're on my bathroom mirror. And he's like, you are not going to be able to see yourself getting ready. I'm like, that's okay. That isn't what I need to see. I know what I look like. I got to work on the inside, and they're filling up. So it's kind of funny. He notices. I go, whenever you want to put some on your side, just help yourself. Do what you do. And I'm just feeling kind of along the lines of everyone else, and it's obviously because, like you said, it's opening us up. And I hired me a coach, actually, and I was speaking to her today, and I said, I noticed two things. As I get more focused on growing and working positives and switching paradigms, as great as that positive feeling, that passion comes out and is just bursting, the adversary is just as strong, if not stronger. And it's just that force that it's like, why does that come up when I'm going this way? But I'm to the point, because of the repetition and doing it over and over and adding to them, that when I have those feelings, like you said, being deflated, disappointments, whatever, instantly a couple of my key I ams go through my head, and it gives me just that power, just that push that I need to feel, you're not going to get me. You're not going to get me. I know I'm not there yet, obviously. I mean, I feel I'm work in progress till the day I die. And so I appreciate all of us opening this up inside of us, because it's a really cool feeling, and it's gonna make a difference in a lot of people's lives. So it's nice to be a part of something that just fills you with just a growing desire, your passion, your heart. It's like you're bursting. And when I'm talking to people, and I asked my coach another thing. I said, why is it when I'm talking to people and presenting, like, I am fired up, like you couldn't knock me down if you wanted to. But then why is it that sometimes I don't want to call another person when I have so much fun doing it, but I still resist. And that's one thing, that's one paradigm I'm working on, and I'm trying to figure out what it is that block is there. But it's like, it feels so good. I should be wanting to do it 24/7. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's just what I'm going through.
That's a really good point. I'd love for others to think about that, because I felt that same thing. You get me, and I'm in the middle of a conversation, and I'm like a caged lion. I'm just roaring at them with passion. But again, then you're just like, that what is that little bit of getting to that face-to-face position, that resistance that's still there. It's a really good point. And that there's something there. What is that paradigm? So just pray that God shows us that one key, that we can unlock that one place. Maybe that's in an I am, And I'm so happy and thankful that I just love picking up the phone and calling people out. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever that looks like. But anyway, anyone else? I'm just loving this. I love it. Anyone else want to share? Okay. How are you doing?
I'll share really quick.
Okay.
I think I love all of this. It brings back the importance of keep doing it. And I've made a point as well. I've really been good on my listening to my affirmations. And I also, every day when I'm putting on my makeup and getting ready, I'm playing Bob Proctor on my computer. And, I just hear him, I'll never forget seeing him. And it was so funny. I saw him in the Starbucks line in the hotel before, he came out and spoke that morning. He's such a presence. And he was just in this long line at Starbucks. And I know some of the people didn't even know who he was, and I remember walking by him going, oh my gosh, that's Bob Proctor. And seeing that beautiful hair and everything. And he had a book in his hand. He had, and I remember he had his phone, and he had this leather-bound book in his hand. And I remember looking at that, noticing that. And then I don't know if you remember when he talked about the book that he carries everywhere he goes, and when he unfolded it for us, and that was his copy of Think and Grow Rich that he was given when he was 19 years old. And that was what he had in line at Starbucks,
Wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh, he's not kidding. Like, it does go everywhere with him. And I'm hearing him so much every day. It's like he has to do all the same things we're doing every day. He still does it at 80, whatever years old that he is. And he says, you can never not stop. And he reads Think and Grow Rich every day and all that kind of stuff. So we can't do it. I think that in the beginning, we all get excited and we make these, everybody wants to do these things and get past their walls and I'm going to do this every day and I'm going to do that. And then, it's the same thing in network marketing and training. Then you see the numbers drop, of who's really going to stick with it or whatever, because I think we're just so prone to give up sometimes. It's just what we're doing. And like you were saying today, it was funny. My girlfriend and I were driving today and we're both going to be 55. It was Nancy, my friend I brought on the cruise. You remember Nancy? She was with me today. And we were like, you know what? We're going to be 55 and there's not, we've got to make a stand. Like, I don't want to not regret anything at this point. Like, it's flown by, it's totally flown by. Mm-hmm. And, I don't want to spend the next 10 or 20 years being chicken or not following through or whatever. And so I just feel like it's so important. And I just think it's just programmed into the typical person to give up or just stop. Maybe it's not give up, just stop trying. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's really, it's something so the ones of us that do stick together, I think it's important to stick together because you hear about your inner circle and the 5 people that you're surrounding yourself with and all that kind of stuff. And even if it dwindles down to 5, okay, those are the 5. I don't know if I'm making sense, but
no, you are. Keep rambling. Awesome.
You know what I mean? You just see that. And, so it's the 1%ers. It's the 1%ers, whether it's in personal development, in production, in whatever. Mm-hmm. And we're the 1%ers because we're still here. And I think it's really important. And you've done a great job. So it helps me.
Well, you know what? And that's, I think I just got an aha from you too about that. Okay. Why there's something inside of me that wants that I'm not going to stop this because we really never can. And Bob Proctor really is the premier example. He could stop and have all the wealth, all the happiness he wants. He could have stopped 20 years ago and he would have, in anybody's mind, arrived. Mm-hmm. And yet look at him, this vibrant 80-some-year-old man that is still feeding and feeds on feeding others. Mm-hmm. That just blows my mind with excitement of I love listening to that myself, to just nonstop. That really it is important to be putting something into yourself every single day, even if it's just your own I ams, just being consistent. So I think that's my takeaway from your conversation is that this, if this Zoom ever stopped, we still continue and make that commitment to continue. And I was talking with one of the gals in the group today that she must be sidelined somewhere. Maybe she is in our group, but we've got several people that are sidelined to what our little group is that's in the group that I've gotten to be good friends and people that are pro 7s, up there that are really into this. And they're all, when we go to Orlando, I've talked about having a happy paradigm shift group happy hour. That all of us that were, in this group that actually go to Orlando, we're going to have one big just happy hour together and face-to-face. And it kind of would give us a little target of, even if we just do every 2 weeks, just pop in and say hi to everybody once every 2 weeks, like and then once to get us through this burst, to get us through this, and then have a little celebration in Orlando. So I'm all game for that. I'll plan it, and whoever wants to show up, show up. So
can I ask a favor? When you tell our Zooms, I struggle with figuring out what time it's at. If you would tell us Eastern, Central, Mountain, and Pacific.
I'll absolutely do that.
I just can't figure it out without seeing it. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's good. Thank you. That's good. That's good. I have a feeling that could be other people's situation too. So I will absolutely do that. And I made it at 6 o'clock on purpose. So those of you that are in that 9 o'clock, because 9 o'clock was, for you. So so you aren't quite so late. So I did push it to 6 o'clock, and not everybody can make every Zoom, and I understand that too. I don't know if there's a better day than others. For a while, I felt Sunday was a really good day for some.
Yeah.
Are we
I think
switching to
Sundays are
Tuesdays
good.
now, or are we going back to Sunday? Or
I just did Tuesday today because Sunday was my birthday cruise.
Oh, yeah.
So I was out on a cruise on Sunday. So
nice.
so that was the reason that I couldn't do it this Sunday. But normally Sundays are really good for me, and it's kind of just like it's a mindset of just launching us into our week as well. And I do like that idea of having that mindset launch for set our week off. And we do have our Monday night calls. And yet I don't want this to become, for 1 second, if it ever became like, oh, we got another Zoom,
Right.
that again, it's just too much, then it's okay.
Right.
I don't want to have that feeling either on this. To me, it's been extraordinary. And it's been life-changing for me. And I know, some of you has experienced that. So what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on frequency, continue, space them out? Do you want to continue this? Do you want to just call it good and Zoom on yourself? Go forge on into your own paradigm shifting as we're moving forward. Check in again. I'm going to be feeding myself. I know I'm going to have a big week this week, and so I'm going to continue to grow and feed. And I'm happy to continue and grow and feed with you guys along too, and just push those nuggets out and get nuggets from you as well. So I'm willing to do that too. So what say you? And does anybody have any other stories they'd like to share? How are they doing? Struggles are part of the story, and that's and I've heard people, they've talked to me behind the scenes. I don't have anybody on here right now that have really experienced some struggle. Go. Tag, you're it.
Okay. First of all, Kelly McCoy is a saint because she listens to me and pulls me back up if I need it. But I probably worked harder in July for the least results for me personally. For the first time since I started, I didn't get one customer, and that kills me because one of my goals is to be in the top 10 in customer volume every month. And so there was none, and I didn't get a distributor. So that was my first month that had happened. But yet I was able to requalify for Pro 5. So thank you, Lord. So, normally I would have been depressed and thinking, I'm just not cut out for this business. But you know what? I am so thrilled that happened. And I can say that truthfully because I can remember praying for leaders to come into my business. And, especially early on when all of the volume that you have is all yours and nobody's doing anything. And I just see how God has answered my prayers. And I don't know that I would have seen all of that had I had a really great month personally. Mm-hmm. And so I ended the month really happy, even though the old me would have been really down in the dumps and covering up my head. So that was my struggle, but I had that shift. And so it all turned out great.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Well, that you requalified is amazing. And that that's a paradigm shift that you just saw a manifestation of a paradigm shift. That's a big deal. Yes. That's a really big deal.
Really big deal.
And I went through the month, and here, Mrs. Customer Acquire, I got 2 customers. That's it. That volume, and I was number 1 volume.
Right.
Rollover volume.
Wow.
That's just rollover. And I, from my hard work, I got 2 customers for the whole month. That was my lowest month to date.
Wow.
And I didn't get any distributors either.
But that's amazing.
And I did not requalify for Pro 5. I did not requalify by about $3,500 low to requalify for Pro 5. So I went back down to Pro 4. I went back down to Pro 4 for the month by $3,500. And I think because of what's been building inside of me, it really honestly didn't bother me. I would have liked to, because I would like to get the trip points. But
Right.
my mindset was wait for August.
Right.
Just wait for August, because I knew what kind of appointments I had going into August and how many are coming into my team in August. So I just thought I'm going to let this one go, but August is going to be different. So I had the same, and I didn't feel like defeated. I really didn't, even though it was my lowest month as far as my personal goals.
Right.
2 out of 20. That was it. So, and I've already got 2 this month. So it's only it's
Incredible.
End of August, and I got 2 and 1 distributor, and it's only August 2nd. So I'm like,
Right.
this is going to be a good month. So here we go, moving forward, you know. And my favorite ever declaration I am, bar none. I am so happy and thankful that people want to hear what I have to say and join my LifeVantage business. I say that one several times during the day. I am so happy. And you know what? When I'm meeting with people, I'm looking in their eyes going, I am so happy and thankful that you want to hear what I have to say and join my. So I actually am saying that as I'm talking with people. I've got it so ingrained in my mind. So anyway.
That's awesome that you shared that though, Becky, because I think a lot of people that are struggling to go up, they see the people that have hit it and they don't think they have struggles. And not to get in the comparison game, but I think a lot of people look up to people and they think, gosh, am I doing it wrong? So it's not nice to hear that you had a bad month, but it's human to hear that it happens. It doesn't mean that we're not good enough. And I think that's good for a lot of people to understand that, because I think they feel defeated if they see other people. So it's nice to share. Like you said, it is good to share what some people call a failure. You're still awesome, number one, you know, but I think it helps people understand.
Yeah. And it wasn't because I just went and crushed a bunch of customers last month. And interesting, the most powerful month that I've had emotionally, paradigm-wise, was not my most powerful month in business at all. They didn't match last month. But I knew that's why we did this. I knew that month was a preparation for where we're going. And my intention wasn't to dive in and make that last month successful. My intention was to dive in to ourselves to make what's coming successful. And that's where I really feel the results are going to be. So maybe that alone would be a good reason to check in again. And Kelly, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to say real quick, and I got to get on that launch call too with Dot. We're doing a launch, but my vote, as long as this is me personally, so you'll just know that as long as I can and will, as long as you have something to pour in because it's you and you want to pour back out, I will be on. I would love to just do a Sunday thing.
Okay.
You know, but until but the minute it becomes, you know, if you're filling up and you know, because you are such a good teacher, but if it's stuff you're already doing, you're filling up, I would love to hop on and, you know, if you can count on me, but the minute it becomes, you know, not a burden, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
As long as you're filling yourself up, I would love to be a benefactor of that.
Okay.
So that's my vote.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good feedback, because I love to fill up, but my selfish part of me is when I pour out, it goes deeper, and then it can go into you guys, and then you guys can feed it back to me. So it is a cycle. So if anybody else feels the same, I'm happy to do that, and happy to have it, you know, on, you know, as on as many Sundays as can work.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, but as long, you know, it can be whenever, but I will be on when I can.
Okay.
Sure.
And I actually do love the Sunday idea. They're actually my favorites, as far as that goes. So we'll call it a wrap for now. I know Stacy had to go. It's a good time to go. We'll call it a wrap for tonight. I'm so glad you guys were on the call, and this is really just a check up what's going on, 21-day mark, to keep going. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep those IMs going, and keep private message me, chat with me. We can FaceTime if you ever need any personal one-on-one time. I'm here for you too. So you guys have an awesome rest of the evening, and it's always good to pop in.
Thanks, Becky.
Unmute, Stacy.
Just saying thank you. Appreciate it.
You're
all.
welcome. Bye.
Thanks, Becky.
Bye, Lindsay. Bye, everybody. Loves and hugs to you.
Ciao.
Bye.